Well, here's another movie I'm sure you haven't heard of, so let's talk about it. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of Neighborhood Watch, the newest film from director Duncan Skiles. Okay, so Jack Quaid having quite the year, to be fairly honest, and he's not finished because I think he has like 6 more films to finish out the rest of the year. This is a movie that stars Jack Quaid as a mentally ill individual who claims he witnesses a kidnapping in a van, a young woman, and nobody believes him because of his particular problem that he has, which deals with mental illness, which deals with like things he's hearing in his head, things that he's seen. So he basically retrieves the help of this former security guard, played of course by Jeffrey Dean Morgan. And they go on a quest to figure out if this is true or not. And it leads down roads that you kind of expect to see coming. Well, this is also a movie that has Malin Akerman in it, and it's a movie that you probably haven't heard of before, to be fairly honest, but it is a kind of drama in a lot of respects, a crime drama, to be fairly honest. It's kind of how you have to look at it. But it's about 2 men who are kind of unstable who try to track down a young woman who's apparently been kidnapped. So there you go. So with a movie like this, it's appearing on VOD, limited in theaters. I honestly didn't know much about this till a few weeks ago when I asked for a screener for it. It doesn't mean it's like something that was gonna be a bad movie. I just don't really know much about it. I don't really know much, unfortunately, about Duncan Skiles, but I do, it's nice to see people make movies, especially when they can get talent like Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Jack Quaid, and of course Malin Akerman. And I don't know. I just thought maybe this could be a fun movie. Who knows, to be fairly honest, but here it is. It's released on VOD. You can pay to watch it. I did get a screener. I do appreciate it. So for my honest take, my hot take on this movie is I don't necessarily think I like this movie, to be fairly honest. I don't think Jack Quaid's character portrays mental illness in a good light. I think it's actually quite offensive, to be fairly honest. I think it's a very laughable what he's going through, even though it's supposed to be super serious. He's a guy who is very unstable. He sees things, he hears things, and he claims he sees this girl being kidnapped, but it isn't realistic in its own portrayal. And then you throw Jeffrey Dean Morgan in there as a very unstable, fired security guard who sprays people with hand sanitizer. And I don't feel like they have much chemistry, to be fairly honest. That's just kind of how I feel. I feel like it's a movie where they attempt to be unique and they attempt to tell a story, but it's called Neighborhood Watch. I guess I expect something like kind of dark and kind of like the Observe and Report style, but it's more of a dramatic film, to be fairly honest. It's really weird. It's a really, really weird movie. And then you throw Malin Akerman in there, and she is playing very one note. She's playing the sister of the Jack Quaid character. And she doesn't feel like she is given much to do in this movie. She feels like she's just kind of there to be a support structure, and she doesn't even do that very well. It's a script that's just not very well put together. And I'm sitting here watching this movie, and I'm just like, I see what they're doing, but for 90 minutes, it feels like it struggles to even hit that 90 minutes. And then when you get to the eventual conclusion, it's like, well, I guess I've kind of seen where that was going. I guess that's going to be the conclusion to the movie. It's not really that surprising. And you have a police detective in this movie who just is not very capable of her job. And I don't know. I found this movie so disappointing is the best way to put it. To be fairly honest, I didn't find anything about it to be entirely interesting or pathetic, or just like it was a movie where things happen. You watch Jack Quaid go insane. He can't stare at. He has his illness causes him to where he can't look at people. And I think Jack Quaid is getting played out with some of these tics movies that he does when his he has these mannerisms. You look at Novocaine and Companion. I think he's an actor who feels very kind of the same, to be fairly honest. And I don't know if that's a positive, but it feels like he's just kind of in a movie where he has to be serious and it comes off laughable, to be fairly honest. So I'm not a fan of this movie at all. I didn't like where it headed. I don't like where these 2 characters played. I don't like anything about this movie. And it's such a shame because it has an interesting premise, a guy with a traumatic situation in his life. He gets put into this mystery box and he has to get through and has to prove that he's telling the truth. and it leads down exactly the predictable path that you expect. And it just, I don't know, it's shot well, it looks nice, but it's just not a very good movie. So take that for what it's worth. Maybe other people will like it. I don't know. This review is embargoed to the day it releases, so that's not always a good sign. But overall, I think, I commend Duncan Skiles for at least attempting to make an interesting movie, but I think it's a very predictable, kind of a little offensive when it comes to its the nature of who the characters are portraying. And once again, I don't think Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Jack Quaid have very great chemistry. And you can definitely tell Malin Akerman and Jack Quaid definitely don't have chemistry because they don't feel like sister and brother. So, yeah, that's my take on Neighborhood Watch. I guess be in theaters, probably mostly VOD. So there you go. Anyways, with that said, thank you so much for watching my review of Neighborhood Watch. I do appreciate it. Comments below. What do you think of this movie? If you've seen it, have you heard of this movie? Are you looking forward to this movie? Let me know. So there you go. Anyways, with that said, thank you so much. If you like what you see on the channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out, guys.